question. David Coolio, Kevin Coolio's brother, was the editor, and he was actually the cat that decided, like, I had a vision to do it like court by court, and show the different characters that we met, came across in every part. Because there were definitely some characters. The kid Mark Norman, aka the movie, do you remember him? We found him at 10 o'clock in the morning drinking a 40. And he was just like, yo, Bobbito, da da da. But anyway, so David Coolio was the one who saw it more like in terms of, okay, New York redefined the game, innovated it. There's a social space, it's a proving ground, and it brings people to a higher level of consciousness. And those are all things that would have came through in the court by court, but David really was able to put it and really make it like a true documentary. So props to David Coolio, props to Tipo de Longeville as well. He was the storyline consultant, and he's also one of the executive producers. Shout out to Nick Quested, who's an executive producer as well. Mia?
What did the legends say when they saw it? I feel like this is like long overdue, and this is the first movie of its kind. Like sitting there knowing, going on my game, going back. This is long overdue. So what did some of the legends say that when they saw it?
Right. Okay. Shoot. The question was, what the legends? What did some of the legends say? I'll be honest with you. A lot of the legends in this film still haven't seen it. But Jack Ryan, you want to answer that? You're here. Is Jack still here with us? He broke out. All right, boy. Maybe he went to the bathroom. Yeah. I mean, you know, truthfully, you're a very early audience on this film. Not a lot of people have seen. Actually, no one's seen this cut. And because we've only shown private screenings of the rough cut, so but we look forward to Pee Wee Kirkland and Fly Williams and cats like that seeing this film and hopefully really appreciating it. And you know, it's funny because like it's a film about pickup basketball, but I felt like there were little moments that I had to really give people a portrait of who Pee Wee Kirkland was and who Fly Williams was in their truest aspect, in an informative level. If you don't know what I've done, I wrote a book years ago called Where'd You Get Those? New York City Sneaker Culture, 1960-1987. I like history. I like particularly our history that's undocumented, and I like even more so presenting our history from the view of someone within the community, because what happens a lot of times, and there's no knock against any filmmakers, but what happens a lot of times, outsiders doing films about us. So for me, like it was, you know, just a real blessing to have made this film and actually have finished it, because a lot of cats do films, you know, 9 years, 8 years. I mean, I'm lucky I worked for myself. Kevin was unemployed at the time when we did this film. You know, he slept on my couch for, you know, 2 summers while we went out court to court, and we went on bicycles. Maybe every once in a while Gerard would give us a ride or something, but for the most part, it was on our bicycles. We did this real guerrilla style, super guerrilla style. Any other questions? Yes, in the back, raising your hand.
Speaking of history, how difficult was it to get that old footage?
Oh, the archives was crazy. Well, luckily, like I said before, I wrote a book. I was also the editor-in-chief and co-founder of a publication called Bounce Magazine. And I'm just kind of an archivist. You know, I think my brother Ray's here. He can, you know, all of us in our family, sort of like, we just dig stuff like that. So Kevin himself, you know, having worked with the various magazines in Europe, was able to get his hands on a couple of archives. But, you know, props to the people in the crowd and props to the people that get thanked at the end of the film. I mean, you know, there's endless amounts of archives that are in this film that are not from Getty Images or from, you know, the New York Public Library, but from people's like photo albums, me badgering them like, yo, please go back to your grandmother's house and see if you have that photo and scan it. And some people didn't know how to scan, and you know, so it took a lot of work to get some of the old photos in here, but you know, we really, I mean, really happy. That old footage of Dr. J from 1975, I mean, that's from a film called The American Game that got released back in the 70s that nobody knows about. So the director passed away. You know, I was lucky enough to meet his son, gave me a copy. So just, you know, I mean, if for the people that have made films here, there's just those magical moments that happen that you're kind of like, wow, I guess I was meant to make this film, because there's no way that I would come across, and Kevin would come across so much archives that would so perfectly illustrate what we were trying to say in the film. So.